Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes Report for the Ukraine war or the special military operation in Ukraine, depending on who you support. And we have quite a number of frontline changes and pro-Ukrainian crowd. You're going to have some good news today. So we're going to have frontline changes over at Vovchansk, at Dibrova, Sperne, Novi, Krasnohorivka, Pelivka, Uruzani, and Staromayoski. So stay tuned. And so first off is at the Kharkiv front. The Kharkiv offensive has come to some kind of a turning point. The Ukrainian forces have launched counterattack, and a huge chunk of this Russian claim places is now invalidated due to all this wrong color. This is wrong color. Due to invalidation due to the geolocation. What the hell? So anyway, Ukrainian forces have been geolocated in 3 different locations, and they have launched a massive battles against the Russian forces, and these are geolocated and proven to be confirmed that the Ukrainians have launched a counterattack with very experienced forces in the attack. So these are not cannon folders, these are actually good soldiers. However, Russian forces are geolocated in the south of this central area along the highway, which means that there is a front line around here. Which means that there is the clash is largely around this area here, where the fighting is currently very, very fierce. So this is the frontline change. Russian forces have taken more grounds. Basically, this is actually an invalidation of the Ukrainian claims. However, the Russian side have a lot more of this ground getting taken or invalidated due to this Ukrainian offensive. So this is the current situation over at Vovchansk, with the Ukrainian forces launching a massive attack in the north eastern part of this Vovchansk region, whereas the Russians are actually heading in the opposite direction. So in the yin-yang kind of a thing. So anyway, we shall continue to monitor and see how this develops. Very, very interesting development over the first chance. So some breather for this for you guys who are pro-Ukraine. Over at Dibrova, over at the Crimea front, there also another good news for the Ukrainians. Ukrainian forces geolocated over at this position. They are actually hit by airstrike, so it's actually not that good news for them. But for these war fans, this is actually good news, which means that the Ukrainian forces actually have more grounds, and are basically invalidating Russian claims in this area here. So we're going to see a closer front line in this area here rather than previously understood. The next front line change is south of this location at the Sivas front at Sperne. So over this location, this is now good news for the Russians. Russian forces geolocated at this area. Again, geolocation is always a bad news in a way that the Russian forces over this position got attacked by FPV drone or the drone attacks. But however, this actually confirmed Russian developments or progress over in this southwestern part of Sperne, and this also invalidated huge chunk of this land that was previously claimed by the Ukrainian side. So the Russian forces is now heading towards Ivano-Darivka. So in this development, but Ukrainians are trying to hold them back. So which is why we have this strike around here, which shows the Russian position in this area here. So that's all for this Sperne or Ivano-Darivka region in the Sivas front. The next front line change is over at the Bakhmut front, over at Novi. So at Novi, there is 2 little change. The Ukrainian mapping Deep State UA has disclaimed this area here that is previously claimed to be under Russian. I think it's geolocated, I believe. If I didn't remember wrongly, Russian forces was geolocated here. So now the Ukrainian mapping has reflected that. However, Russian forces has been geolocated to be attacking just off the main road over at Velosia Zelina, and which means that the Russian forces have continued to advance very, very slowly into Novi. So this is the 2 frontline change over at Novi. The next frontline change is over at Krasnohorivka. So Krasnohorivka is here over the Donetsk front. There is based on Ukrainian mapping, Deep State UA's mapping, Russian forces have captured almost all of the industrial area here, all the way on the western part of this central part of Krasnohorivka. Russian forces expanding their control. This is based on Ukrainian mapping. Geolocations did not really show this change in terms of the front line, but the Russian forces is basically have captured, because this is too near to have Ukrainian forces array around here. So effectively, the Russian forces have captured all of the industrial area in the center part of the center parallel of Krasnohorivka, which means that the Russian forces can now start to swing into the rear positions. Totally just hold the front line around here, and then they can actually start to create havoc in the rear position. So that's all for Krasnohorivka. And the next frontline change is over at Palivka. So this is also over at the Donetsk front. This is actually south of Voleda. This is Voleda. And the Ukrainian forces, interestingly, was geolocated and around this Dacha region. They are over here, which means that the Ukrainian forces actually captured grounds. They have basically led some kind of a recon by assault, I guess, and captured some grounds over in this Dacha that is between Palivka and Mikhailske. So we'll continue to monitor and see if this will develop into some kind of a bigger offensive. This Palivka, this Mikhailske, and the advance is actually here. So this is Palivka. The next frontline change is over at Uruzhaine. So Uruzhaine is actually at the very end of the Donetsk front. Over here, you can actually already see that the Staromayorsky also had frontline change. This is based on this one over at Uruzhaine is based on Russian claims. Russian mapping claims that they have started an attack over in the southern part of Uruzhaine, whereas in their mapping they shows that they have started attacking Staromayorsky in two different directions. However, based on geolocation, this shows that this entire attack is actually very, very real. So this has turned into from a claim to a capture, a Russian capture over in the Staromayorsky region. We will continue to monitor and see how this develop over Staromayorsky. The battle of Staromayorsky is now very, very on. So these are the frontline changes, and some news before, in case you missed the sit rep, because I know a lot of you guys don't like to watch a sit rep. Some news I previously mentioned about Klishchiivka. Because of this, Russian forces enter very deep, all the way into Klishchiivka, and the Russian Defense Ministry now declared that they have impregnated. They have captured Klishchiivka. So this is based on the Russian Defense Ministry's report. Ryba actually did not opposed to this declaration. They only say that according to some reports, Klishchiivka and the adjacent height has been captured in the south, which is over here. So the entire area here is high ground, and apparently in the south is somewhat captured. We're not sure if this is true. Ryba cannot confirm this information just yet. As such, I did not put a flag to certify this based on DPA's monitoring that this is captured. This is currently only announced. Based on today's report, the Russian report just come out within an hour of this recording. The Russian Defense Ministry also announced the capture of Andriivka. So both Klishchiivka and Andriivka is now said to be captured by the Russian Defense Ministry. And if this is true and the Ukrainians indeed have launched some massive withdrawal from this area here, then we are likely to see the front line change very massively like this. Okay, I should zoom out. This entire area might actually just straighten out with a massive capture by the Russian forces, with a total collapse of the Ukrainian lines, and they will have to go back to a second and third line of defense away from this area where it is just very, very hard to defend right now. So anyway, but we cannot confirm this just yet. No other sources are talking about this. So because of the somewhat dubious track record of the Russian Defense Ministry's declaration of capture, very spotty. Sometimes it's correct, sometimes it's not. So we will definitely be a bit more careful, and we just plot this as an announcement, and we'll wait for more information. So anyway, this is the Frontline Changes Report. Look out for the SIP and as mentioned yesterday in the SIP if you have missed it, I will be taking extracts from the SIP and post them as separate reports for those that are not interested to watch the full SIP so that I can get more revenue and keep this Ukraine war reporting on going, because the viewership now is insufficient to keep it going. So, think about, consider supporting DPA on the Patreon or Coffee or Boosty, or not, or YouTube membership. If not, just help to share. That will also help. Press the like button. I'll see you guys in the next update.